helping you navigate the rocky path of fulfilling employment. Here's our Career Sherpa, Julie Bauke.
Joining me on the AcuteHearingCenters.com hotline, Julie Bauke. Good morning. How is everything in the world of the Career Sherpa?
Good morning. It's good to be me.
It is good to be you. Why?
I don't know. Just in general.
Okay,
No
good.
special reason today.
It's called Julie Privilege is what it's called.
That's right. That's
She's got
right.
some Julie Bauke privilege. So it's the college graduation season, also the high school graduation, college graduation season. And so now the 4 or 5 or in my case 9-year, 4-year degree person is now graduating. Some may have job offers waiting them, but that is that was a rarity back in the day. It's an even a bigger rarity now, I would think, right?
No, it's not at all. In fact, hiring for new college grads is up 17% over last year.
Really?
And it was darn good last year. So hiring is at the highest level since 2007.
Damn. So what is the average? Are most college graduates getting a job right from school?
It depends on what their major is. So, if you are, the hottest areas, no big surprise, information, IT, engineering, and healthcare.
Yes.
Of some sort. And that doesn't mean just being a doctor.
Yep.
You can be a PA, a physical therapist, speech and hearing, anything that's healthcare, there's a lot of them. But so those folks are, in a lot of cases, we've seen the trend over the last few years where for a lot of students, they do an internship between their junior and senior year and the end of their junior summer, the internship with an offer. So they have an offer in hand by the time they're seniors, as long as they don't, make beer their major for their senior year and screw it up. And then, so what they're trying to do, these companies are trying to grab you before the fall recruiting season starts.
Yeah.
So you
it's
got
STEMs.
that,
it's big in the STEMs. So if you're in the STEMs, you're good. You're going to get a job. But now, wait a minute.
Yeah,
let's say I'm a mom and dad.
Accounting.
Yeah, I'm a mom and dad, and I made a mistake, admittedly. And my kid majored in technical writing. My kid majored in art history. My kid majored in paleontology with a minor in puppeteering. And now, guess what? Not so many employers are knocking down his or her door to give he or her a job, and the end result is they're moving back in.
Okay, so
let's talk about them.
This is, again, if you are a paleontology/puppeteer, this is the best year in a long time. Because, not necessarily to get a job in that. So the goal when you get out of school at this point is get something. Okay, you want to get as close as you can to something that you're going to feel like you're going to do a good job in, but you've got to get in the game. I was Googling before our call, and if you just go on LinkedIn, and if you're a new grad and you're not on LinkedIn, or you're soon to be a new grad, pick up the closest something and smack yourself in the head for me. Mm-hmm. So you get on LinkedIn, you make sure you have a profile, and if you get on there, and literally I did a search for new grad jobs, or recent grad jobs. Just with those two searches, I came up with like 65,000 results. And those are just companies who are putting those phrases in their jobs. And so if you are a puppeteer paleontologist, you can search for that, but you could also peruse those jobs and see which of those jobs is most appealing to you. The name of the game is getting work experience of some sort, and then figure out what do you like about it, what do you not like about it, what else would you like to do. If you sit on your parents' couch in the basement for 6 to 12 months in this job market, that is all bad on you, because it's like there are jobs out there. You can't pretend like you can't get a job. So if you're going to get I've got to get the puppeteer paleontology job, the one in the U.S.,
not going to happen.
You're missing the point. You can work toward it, but the first thing you have to do is get on your feet and get a job. And so parents, if your kids are telling you there are no jobs out there, they're doing it wrong.
Yeah, there's no jobs in what it is exactly, specifically what you want to do and where you want to work. And I want a paleontology job in Cincinnati, Ohio, particularly right down the street from me when one doesn't exist. You're going to be waiting a long time on mom and dad's couch before that comes along. So how, as a parent, do you kick your kids in the ass and tell them to get a job? What works, what doesn't?
So, first of all, as parents, a lot of times we don't know what exactly you're supposed to be doing to get a job. And so when we see our kid online all day, we're like, good, look at him or her. They're working really hard. when really, only, in the teens, 10, 12, 13% of people actually get the job online. You may find out about the job online, but to just point and click and put your resume into the big black hole 60,000 times is it's a slow way to go. People hire people, and so if you see that Kroger is hiring entry-level research associates, and you're pretty good with numbers, even though maybe you didn't have a market research or a math major, but you are pretty good with numbers, apply. Then look online, try to find somebody, look in LinkedIn, try to find somebody, maybe a parent of a friend of one of your parents, somebody in your neighborhood who works at Kroger, and talk to them about what it's like to work there and how you might get in front of the right people.
Gotcha.
And so technology is so seductive because it really makes it seem like you're going to find the right job online. Now, because we're where we are, where the demand greatly outpaces the supply, you will have better results online. But the last thing you should do as a parent is not require your kid to get out of the house and do something. It can be working at Starbucks. It can be volunteering. It can be working at Target. There is nothing shameful about any of that for somebody with a 4-year degree, for heaven's sakes. And that's where we get out. That's where we meet people. That's where we polish up our skills. That's where we create our stories. So when that good interview comes along at a job maybe that you think is a better fit for you, it's not, I've been sitting on my parents' couch for 6 months. Because you don't have an excuse, because the job market is good. I've been working at Target, and here's what I've learned.
Right.
And really making that part of your story. So don't let the kids sit around all day. Maybe give them a period of time to kind of, sleep in and catch up on everything they missed. But at the very least, even if they want to focus their time on a full-time job search, you can't job search 40 hours a week. It's impossible. It's exhausting. And so if you're job searching 28 to 35 hours a week, you still have time to make money. And so give your kids a period of time. Okay, at this point, you're going to start taking over your car payment, you're going to start paying rent, and require something of them. That's one of the things that is just so frustrating. We hear all the time from employers that the kids come in and they really don't know how to work. They don't know what to do. Right. And so when you require something of your kids, and if your kids are in high school, you still have time, because part of being an attractive candidate for a job is having a story, is having something to talk about beyond just the competitive soccer you were in. What else did you do? And maybe it's volunteering. But it's really
I would say this, Julie. Let me interrupt a second. Julie Bauke, our career Sherpa on the Scott Sloan Show, 700 WLW, is this. Volunteering, it's all good. That I think go volunteer. That's being voluntold. You should have a passion for volunteering for whatever cause it is. When someone says at work, we need volunteers for this, and then you point at you and go, guess what, Julie, you're volunteering. That's being voluntold. That's not volunteering, and I hate that. You should volunteer because it's something near and dear to your heart, something you believe in and have a passion for. A job is a job is a job, Julie. Go work at Target. Go work McDonald's. Go work somewhere.
Absolutely.
Don't sit on your ass waiting for the perfect opportunity. And I think that's probably part and parcel with this generation, the younger folks too, is that because you have been comforted largely your whole life and treated like veal, that naturally after you graduate college and can't find exactly the job you want in the area you want for the money you want for the company you want, even though that job may not exist in puppetry or paleontology, you're waiting for something to happen that's never going to. It's called work. It sucks. Largely, it blows to go work 9 to 5, work for the man, dress up, wear the suit, have to answer to some clown who doesn't know what they're talking about. I don't really know what I want to do. I hate my job. I hate my life. Guess what? It's called adulthood. That's what it is. You're not supposed to go around loving everything you do. Half of it is you work so you can do the stuff you love. I often tell my kids, I don't know if I have it right or not, but my notion is, listen, treat the job or the career like what it is, and that is a means to an end. And then parlay that into something you want to do later in life or something you do when you're not at work. Don't make work your entire life, but also don't make not working your entire life. You got to do something. You're not going to love it all the time, but you got to go out there and make your own bones. That's how it works in life. That's the lesson.
Yep, it sure is. And you're going to have, you may think, it doesn't matter. You may have a charmed life up until this point. And and your first job may be the best job in the world, and then one day a boss comes in, and he or she just doesn't like the way you are in the world,
Bingo.
or the way you do your work, and all of a sudden your wonderful world goes down the hill. And that's not the time that your parents sort of pick up the phone and call your employer. That's the time you figure out how to make it work where you are or go find something else to do. The only way to do that is get in the game and get some scars. We all have them.
You're going to get the hell beat out of you in your work life.
Yeah.
You're not going to be protected by mom and dad. You're going to work for people who don't like you and work with people who don't like you simply because they don't like you. It's stupid. It's wrong. It's not fair. But guess what? The world ain't fair. Life is mean. At some point, we're going to have to deal with that there are a-holes out there. You may even be one of them. Who knows? But then you go and find something else, and you keep trying and trying until you find something that you like. In the end of the game is you have all these things that are totally unrelated, all of these things that are intersecting your life, changes, turns in the road, unforeseen problems, issues, and experiences that eventually, when you're old and gray like me, that all these things seemingly that had no connection have a connection. And it puts everything together for you to make the person you are later on in life. You can't see that when you're in your 20s or 30s,
right, exactly.
But later in life, it's like, man, all these things that had no relationship to each other now all of a sudden have come together to form something that I am or that I want to be. And it's incredible. Enjoy the journey. It's going to suck. But by and large, it's not supposed to be a smooth ride entirely. There is going to be adversity and setback in your life. Why am I the guy to have to say this?
Got to keep saying it, you and me. It's really about shortcuts. There really are no shortcuts. And every person who you know, who you admire, that anybody listening, anybody that they know and admire from a career standpoint, has had some moments they cringe when they think about.
Yeah.
Some things they do differently, some things they hope never come out. I mean, thank God social media wasn't around.
No question.
We all have those, and they're really painful when you go through them. And you look back and say, God, I'm glad I survived that. Or, wow, I wish I could redo that. But you can't.
No.
And we learn from failure. So the best thing you can do is get in the game. And here's the good news. It's not that we're in a different world now. So if you take a job, and you're like, I can do this. I don't love it. No one expects you to stay there for 40 years. People change jobs more quickly than ever because they've figured out that if it's not working for them after they've tried their best, they need to move on because they know their employer, if their employer decided they didn't want them around anymore, they'd be gone. And so that supposed loyalty contract, if it ever existed, is long gone. And so take a job that you don't like, stick it out for a year. Figure out what you do and don't like about it and how you can get more of what you like and less of what you don't like at another job. It's really about self-awareness. You can't get that sitting on your parents' couch.
My son just did that. After a year, he's like, I think I want to do something else, which is great. You learn, you got some experience. Eventually, it's going to make the person you are. Life is all about managing pain and conflict. It's not fair, and it often sucks. And that's why God invented alcohol. Julie Bauke is our career Sherpa here on 700 WLW on the AcuteHearingCenters.com hotline. For more, it's the Bauke, that's B-A-U-K-E, thebaukegroup.com. She's a career coach in Cincinnati and the finest, of course.
Indeed.
Jules, talk next week.
All right.
Appreciate it. Thank you.